ton of damage, and they deal a lot of damage as well. So I mean, that's like the perfect ground unit. But yeah, looking at the army tab, Jungik is quite ahead, and the gas is quite similar, but the minerals, there's a big difference there. And looking at the production tab, look at this. We see a warp prism coming out, but in 30 seconds after this is coming out. By the way, the contaminate, it does reduce the build time, or increase the build time rather, by 30 seconds. And what can I say, man? Look at all these forces here, boys. It looks like we're going to get a lot of action quite soon. And what can I say? I've been waiting long enough for it, and this is quite a large army, man. A ton of hydras, a ton of roaches, ton of zerglings, and look at this. There's even an extra hatchery being built over there. Now, it does look like. Hold on, here's the immortal, and let's look at that. Look at that fatty damage, boys. A ton of damage. But yeah, it does look like that Focus is going to mobilize his forces. He's going to try to do a little bit of damage to this area from Jungik, perhaps stop the gold expansion. So here we go, boys. Drinking a little bit of water, and there we go. Force fields going down everywhere. They did a perfect block on the hydraulics and the roaches. They are forced to back away. Now, there is corruptors here, and corruptors, they have to target these colossus right away, and that's what they're there for. So we're going to see. Look at this, Jungik is actually moving into this area. Now, I wouldn't recommend a move like that, man, because it's a very tight area and your units can't fit in there. But here we go. Jungik is trying desperately to fight back the army of Focus. We have the Corruptors taking down the Colossi, and look at that, all those fried units over there, my friends. More roaches coming in. Is Focus going to be able to hold this position? I don't think so, because there's just too many units down here. But look at this. At the same time, Focus is sending a small army into this area. They were warped in from that warp prison, by the way, and it does look like they're going to take out the Roach Warren, so that no more roaches can be produced. And now Jungik finally realizes it. He's telling to himself, what the hell is going on? He's going back to his base, trying to do as much damage as he can, trying to kill these stalkers, and I do believe that they are going to die, and Jungik is going to be victorious at this initial battle. Now, he did lose his Roachworn, so let's not forget about that, because, well, Focus didn't want him to be able to produce more roaches, right? So here we have Jungik trying to search for that. Oh, he sees it right there, but I don't think he noticed it yet. He's trying to search for that warp prism. Though this warp prism is right here, all by himself in a sneaky area. He's like, kee, dog. You ain't never gonna see me here, homie. But, yeah, I'll see how long it stays there, that warp prism. But he's got to see it sooner or later, man. Now we have Focus trying to make another attack on the expansion, on the gold expansion, because he wants it, he wants it taken care of. Because anytime your opponent has a gold expansion, you got to do your best, man, to try to take it out, or else you're just gonna fall behind and eventually lose the game. Well, not all the time, right? But most of the time, that's the way it goes, because it's just simple math, right? If you don't stop your opponent from farming these gold minerals, the old game, your opponent is just going to push ahead, and unfortunately for you, you're going to fall behind and pay the price in the end. I mean, that's the general rule, right? Sometimes there's always exceptions to every rule, right? That's just the way of nature. But oh, look at this warp prism is finally being discovered, and I do believe he is going to eat dirt. Boom! He even fell down over there. Maybe the Protoss in there can, do a safe jump down there and have a swim or something and not die. But we'll see about that. Now, here we have both armies, quite a large armies. Look at that. Jungik is actually 200 out of 200. And Focus is 160 out of 182. So here we go, boys. I'm going to keep it on the army tab for a second. Big battles going on. The army tab is so large. It covers so much of the screen, but yeah, the roaches fighting back, the hydraulics trying desperately to back them up. It does look like that Jungik is going to be in a good position here, but hold on, there's more units from Focus coming in. It does look like that Jungik now is outnumbered, as he's going to lose his entire army, except his air units, except the Corruptors. And what can I say, boys? I do believe that the real difference over there is these Immortals, as they do so much damage to roaches, man. and it's not even funny how much damage they do, because it is a very, very large amount. Now here we have Focus pushing on, trying to perhaps take down this expansion or this one down below. We'll see what he's going to do. It looks like he's going to try to go for the gold. Now a ton of roaches in the area trying to push back these army of immortals, but let's just pay attention to this one immortal, okay? The one right here. Look how much damage he's taking. Look at all the kills he has, and he's still there. He's still not dead. But that's what I mean by the underuse of immortals, because they are very good units, my friends. People should use them a lot more, and it's just a shame not to see them used as often. I don't know why. But yeah, here we have Focus finally taking down the gold expansion of Jungik, and I can't imagine Jungik being too happy about that. He's like, you bloody bastard, I'm going to take you out, somebody gonna get hurt. And now Jungik has a good surround on this area. He has trapped Focus's units. Focus's units cannot run anywhere. They have to fight back, or else otherwise they're fighting back very hard. And look at this immortal, 16 kills, 17 kills before he dies and joins Ire. Now at this point, if you look at the army size, there's a big difference. And let's look at the income tab. Look at this. Focus actually has more workers, so he is actually getting a little bit of more income. Now looking at the APM, look at that, man. The average for Jungik is 232. That's a very high average. And even look at him now, over 300. So that just tells you the caliber of player Jungik is. He's a very good player. I have posted videos from him before, and I even made a little comment about his name not sounding Korean at all. Sounds more Indian. Hello, I'm Jungik. I will be your Zerg opponent, and somebody gonna get hurt. You know, it sounds more like an Indian name than a Korean name. Now, Focus is putting up this Nexus, and he is trying to match the economic might of Jungik. But let's see if he's going to be able to do that. Let's see if he can hold that position for a while. Looking at the units tab, we can see that well, Jungik has quite the larger army, but the composition also matters a lot too, as a lot of times, well, basically these corruptors, after they take down look at this, right? 2 Colossus. After they take down these Colossus, they are useless in the air pretty much, unless they're going to be changed into Broodlords later on. But we'll wait and see about that. I don't know if this game is going to go that long, and I have no idea if there is going to be Broodlords coming out. But yeah, it does look like Jungik wants to finally push and take down this gold expansion, and he has a very, very large army. As you can see, 200 out of 200 basically. Oh, the Colossi caught out of position. They go down instantly right away. Well, those two do anyway. And now here we have a very, very large battle. Corruptors against Immortals and Stalkers and Roaches and Hydralisks and all of that good stuff. And it does look like that Jungik is actually going to be pushed back once again, and he's even losing a bunch of his Corruptors as they are retreating. Now Jungik is probably wondering to himself that why he can't take, well, why he's having such a hard time with this army. And I'll tell you guys why he is having such a hard time with the army of Focus. Why? Simple, my friends. Jungik has no Zerglings, okay? Zerglings are, well, they are extremely cheap, right? And they do take the hits away from, well, Hydralisk and Roaches, and they do surround units quite well, especially those Stalkers. So if Jungik was to throw in like 30, 40 Zerglings, I think he would have a much better chance at winning, and, well, a much more efficient army he would have. So if you are a Zerg player, remember to always have Zerglings. So here we go again. Jungik has massed up a very large army. He's going to try one last time to take down this gold expansion. It does look like that this time he finally is going to be able to do it, as he is, well, it's simply his macro, right? Once the Zerg macro goes out of control, you won't be able to stop them, my friends. They'll just keep building and building and building their units over and over again. And as you guys see in the production tab, he is making 9 more Roaches. So alongside this very sexy, very large army, he's going to have 9 more Roaches, and it does look like that this time he's finally able, well, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's not pushing on this undefended gold hatchery. Gold hatchery. Undefended gold nexus. No sexy time? Come on. Show us a little bit of sexy time, guy. Now, here we go. He is pushing in. He does know that at this point he can't take out this area, because look at this, my friends. The Zerg macro is overwhelming, and Focus cannot handle it. at least for this time being, yeah. I was gonna say for this time being, but I just saw the JJ, and what can I say, boys? This was a very action-packed game, and look at the macro power, the might of the Zerg army stretching through all the map. And if you're a Protoss player or a Zerg player, well, if you're a Protoss or a Terran player, once the Zerg gets this much out of control, man, I don't think most people will stop the Zerg army because it's just too much, right? They have too big of a macro, and on top of that, Focus didn't have well, he didn't have too many barracks, right? Barracks, warp gates. He only had 5, so he wasn't able to keep up. Even though at a lot of times he did have the money to back to produce more units. But yeah, let that be a lesson for you guys. For every expansion you get, you pretty much double your production facilities. That's like the standard rule there is. So yeah, I mean, JJ for Focus. Better luck next time. And Jungik, what can I say, my friend? You're quite cool, quite hip. And yeah, I'll stop acting like an idiot now. And this is NS signing out. Have a good day, everybody.